fine.
All right. Here we go.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. All right, so this is going to take just a moment to set up, and then we'll get the discussion going. So how's everyone's morning so far? How are you guys doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, good. I had a whole day.
Yeah, me too. We're way ahead of you.
Nice. That's true. That's true. I'm probably the one to start their day the least or the earliest here. It's like 9 a.m. for me right now. All right.
Yeah, that's crazy early.
Did you have your coffee this time?
I have my coffee right next to me. I am good to go.
Good
to go. There are 2 live streams set up right now, so I'm just getting the people from the other one over here.
2 live streams?
What do you mean?
Oh, I'm just like the little placeholder setup one is already going, so now those people are coming over to this one.
Yeah.
It's just the way the PS4 works.
I thought you meant you were streaming at 2 places.
That's what I thought.
No, I'm not that talented. You can do that
because you had the set reminder one.
Yeah, it's like a reminder one. That's it. But now we have the actual live stream going.
Oh yeah, I got the reminder. That was good. Don't know. Everybody's here.
Yikes.
All right, welcome guys. So we'll go ahead and just go through real quick and do a brief introduction of each of our panelists, and then we will hop into the questions. So we'll just go in order of the the lobby here, which is kind of fun. So we're in the factions lobby right now. Our first panelist is Rage's Rager. I'm sure almost all of you have heard of him. He is a very, very successful and excellent TLOU factions YouTuber who pulls off some amazing comebacks. So if you want to say hi, maybe a little bit about yourself, Rage, go ahead.
I actually don't have a lot to say, but hey guys, how you doing?
Thanks for joining us. Next up, we got Dan Roy, Papa Roy. He has a factions. It's not just factions. He actually does a whole bunch of games, but factions is one of the first ones that he did, and he has done a tremendous job with edited, just the best edited factions videos that you can find. VR Bros was one of the ones that we did together, but he has so many other ones with Rage, with Boom Boyman, and just The Last of Us in general. He always has a really good insight on the community in general. So it's great to have you here today, Dan. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's the first time doing something like this, so this feels a little bit weird, but yeah, we'll get through it.
We will. It always starts off a little slow at first, and then you get into it. All right. Next up, we have Urban Fucks. She is known for her TLOU Sunday live streams, which are completely mental, as some people might say. But I really like the laughter and the enjoyment that she brings to the Last of Us community. One of the nicest people you ever met. Thanks for being here, Urban.
It's awesome to be here. I just want to sing that like TLOU Sunday. I think that is my catchphrase. Yeah, it's good. It's good to be here. Hi guys.
Cool. And then last but not least, we have her name on here is Irish Soul, but this is Rachel from Dual Shockers. She wrote a very, very thorough article on The Last of Us Part 2 and the multiplayer component / standalone game that may be coming forward. And she asked me to provide a little bit of information and my thoughts on that. And if you haven't read that article, it's linked in the description, and it is absolutely phenomenal. It's a great, great article. She did a great job. Be sure to check that out. And I feel honored to have you here today to help share some of your thoughts on that as well.
Oh, that was so nice. I'm not used to people being so nice to me. I'm a journalist, you know. We don't really get a lot of nice things being said to us, but that's nice. Thank you, and it's good to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we should just jump right into the questions at this point. The first one is probably the biggest one, at least the one that I see in the community as the most divisive, and that is, what kind of format would you like to see the Last of Us Faction standalone game? At this point, we're just going to assume that it's coming because something is coming. We don't know exactly what it is, but do you want it to be a battle royale, a PvP, along the lines of what they currently have, or would you like to see something completely different? Let's start with Rage. What do you think, man?
Well, I'd like all of those modes, to be honest, and I just feel like since we had different modes, like we had supply raid, we had interrogation in this first game, I think implementing just different, like having our interrogation and yeah, just having different modes, I guess, in terms of multiplayer would be great. I think would attract more people, and yeah.
How do you feel about battle royale? Would you want a battle royale? Would you want it to be just part of it, or would you want it to be the main focus of this?
No, I wouldn't want it to be the main focus. I feel like factions is a very good mode. Making battle royale the main focus, I feel would be. My personal opinion, I just don't think it'd be a very good move for them to make. But making one, I wouldn't mind if they did make one. You know.
Gotcha. Yeah.
If anything, it would just attract more people, and I'm down for that. Actually, yeah.
Cool, Dan. What do you think about this?
So like battle royales are cool and all, but I definitely feel like they're like the trendy thing to do. So like I feel like in the long term, I feel like just going with like a traditional like multiplayer would be cool because like The Last of Us was like it wasn't initially meant to be multiplayer, so it was kind of like what they scavenged together and this is what they made.
Yeah.
But like I would like that like since they're starting from scratch, I would like them to build like a foundation that like most multiplayer have. So have like a lot of like traditional game modes like free for all and team deathmatch or more like objective based modes and things like that. So I would rather, if I had to choose between which one I would want more, like a traditional multiplayer or a battle royale, it would like almost 100% be traditional multiplayer for like long term.
Yeah.
stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah. And it really is. There's not a lot of those PvPs right now. Like it seems like the industry is all kind of focused on the battle royale, and to me, that's part of the reason why, even 6 years later, that these lobbies are still filled every day. I mean, even before this month, when PS Plus made the game free, I still had zero problem finding lobbies, and now I know pretty much everyone is having zero problems finding lobbies, even people in more remote areas. Like New Zealand and Australia, I know before they would often find the same people in the lobbies, and now they're like it's all new people now, all new people.
For sure.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, because it's just like the gaming industry always they go through like trends. So like a few years ago, like everybody was crazy about zombies. Everybody needed to have a zombies mode or a zombies DLC or this or that. And like now it's battle royale. Everybody has to have a battle royale in their game. This is like where all the money is at. So it's like I feel like Naughty Dog isn't gonna maybe like want to go with trends just because like those things have shelf lives. But like traditional multiplayer will always be there.
Yep. And well, I'll share my thoughts on the end. Urban, what do you think? What do you think about this?
Yeah, so I love the supply raid. I think it works really well. It's dynamic, isn't it, where you're using strategies. I think the 4v4 works really well. So I just think Battle Royale would just, I don't know, it just lose something. It would lose a lot of what the game's about. I would like to see a free-for-all. I think that'd be quite fun to just, I don't know, I think that'd be super addictive and a lot of fun. And then I'd like a game mode, something really random where you've got an odd bloater running in or something just like really crazy that just, I don't know, just something a bit different. But I think, I never play Survivor or really Interrogation, but the supply raids definitely, it keeps me coming back to that.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. Good answer. And last but certainly not least, Rachel, I know you've typed up a whole bunch about this, but what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to really pinpoint exactly what it is that I want, But I know what I don't want, and that's a battle royale. I don't want anything to do with it, and I'm quite strongly opinionated on that. I think I would lose the intimacy of factions.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would really lose that. I wanted to be surprised, but I really don't see how Naughty Dog would really want a battle royale, because it's so unique, and a battle royale really isn't unique at all. I mean, we've got it in Tetris. You know, it's everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
it's just everything.
That's true.
You know,
It's
for
true.
God's sake.
Yeah, that's a good point. And,
Yeah.
and I think that's the main kind of thread that I see throughout the community of why people love this game, why they keep playing this game, is because
It's
it is
unique.
so unique. There's no other experience like that out here. Even Uncharted 4
Yeah.
was not the same as this. It was similar in very small ways, but the feeling was gone. It didn't have the same intensity. It didn't have the same thrill and the same teamwork aspect that you feel in this game. It had it a little bit,
Yeah,
but
exactly,
not
yeah.
the same as this one. That feeling when those revives feel like they're crawling and you know that the enemy is running at you and you're like, come on, just get to that point, and then, you know, whether you get them up or not in time, it's like it's a slower pace, but it's enough that it builds the tension. Where I feel as games like Call of Duty, when it's so fast, there's no time to build the tension. It's just like you took the guy out or he took you out, and then you start over again. It's just like so quick. Where there's these intimate moments where this tension is built, and that really creates some awesome moments. The other thing that I was thinking, if it is truly is a standalone game, which I think it will be, and I think it's a really good way to go, is they could have the opportunity to have these set modes like supply raid and something else like interrogation or some kind of. I don't think they'd bring survivors back. If they did, I think it would be modified quite a bit because it's a little funky of the three.
Yeah.
But you could have, for instead of survivors, you have a third mode, which is a rotating mode, like a limited time thing. But maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, you had this set mode that people maybe they like it, but maybe they don't. And the battle royale could be one of those modes. It's like every 2 weeks, for 1 week, you can play this mode, and then
Like
it'll
a LTM.
exactly. And like, why not rotate the less popular modes?
That's
Why
a good
not
idea.
rotate
Yeah.
survivors, battle, a type of battle royale? I wouldn't. I mean, I don't see it working in the direct sense of having, you know, like you're not obviously not gonna like fall from like a mountain where they're gonna like parachute into, you know, like the dam. Like no
Yeah.
thanks. Like that doesn't work. The other thing that I like about this is you have different maps, and all battle royales basically have one map, right? It's not like you have like these completely different maps that you're working on. Sure, they kind of take all the maps and meld them into one, but that doesn't really, I feel, work for me with The Last of Us. It's like you're not going to go from Wyoming to Seattle, you know, over the course of 2 minutes. That's just makes it feel really cheesy and kind of corny, right?
All right.
So yeah, that's kind of
Well, and some battle royales have multiple maps. I know PUBG has like 3.
yeah,
Apex
they've
has
added
2,
them.
but it takes a while to
It
like
does.
add stuff.
Yeah, but The Last of Us has 17 maps, and that's one thing some people tell me, like, it doesn't have enough maps. I'm like, well, it has 17. They're like, really? Like, yeah, I'm like, go back and count them. 17 is actually quite a bit. But if they had, like, 25 maps, 26, that could really be awesome, especially if they incorporated all these ones. It's like, say you have these, and then you add 17 more, all of a sudden you have 34 maps. That would be cool.
Like checkpoint
Yeah.
for T2, please.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing, okay, well, let's just get into this second question, and we'll get you guys some more input, and then I can add some more maybe at the next one. So, kind of the whole beauty of the standalone multiplayer idea is that it doesn't really need to be set like an exact place and time. It doesn't have to be set in part 2, because one of the concerns with that is like would be super scarce ammo and map locations that were dependent upon The Last of Us Part 2. But now, since it's separated from that, it really kind of opens that universe up quite a bit, where you could have some stuff from The Last of Us Part 2, you could have some stuff from the first one, you can have other maps, modes, and ideas that weren't even in either of those. Like, you can have a place...
Factions.
Yeah, like, you could have Mexico City, like, post outbreak. That could be a crazy map, right? What are your guys' thoughts? Like, what elements, like gameplays, game modes, maps, weapons, would you like to see from this current multiplayer make it into the next multiplayer? Let's start from the bottom this time. Rachel, let's go with you first. Or maybe we won't. We'll start with Rach. Go ahead, Rach. Let's step down a second.
Um, I don't have too much to say about that, but yeah, I'd just like to see more factions. I think they could import some of like the more favorite maps that we have in this game mode into the next one, like the dam and checkpoint.
Yeah.
What
Is there any
else?
weapons
I think
that you would like
weapons.
to see move over? Like, and how would you address weapons in the next one? Would you like to see it more melee focused? Would you like to have
No,
the
no,
same
no.
amount of ammo that it has now, less ammo? What's your feeling on the balance of the current game and what you'd like to see in the future one?
I feel like they can bring over every gun besides probably the shorty, maybe because I just hate the gun so much. But yeah, and do a little rebalancing. I mean, maybe the burst rifle's a bit OP, and yeah, I mean, every gun. The game is perfect for me, so I can't really say I don't want anything from this multiplayer not to make it onto the second one. So
Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah, I
You
mean,
you feel pretty happy with what they
yeah.
have so far.
Yeah, I'm happy with what we have. So I mean, they shouldn't change too much in my opinion. Maybe add a few more perks and weapons, but nothing too game breaking. Yeah,
Gotcha.
nothing OP.
Yeah, that was kind of the beauty of this as well. Is it is pretty simple. There's only 3 modes, so each of those modes
Exactly.
you can find maps or matches, and versus with again I'm referencing Uncharted 4 because that was their last multiplayer. They kind of overdid it with the perks, the
Hmm.
weapons, it kind and the modes. It kind of like really,
Mythicals.
um,
I
yeah,
mean, that's why I didn't
it
play it.
spread stuff out. Yeah, you
I
kind of
liked Uncharted 2. It was like really simple, and it was just like really based on just like your gun on gun battles, stuff like that. But then in 4, it's like we got mysticals, we got buddies you can buy, you can do
yeah,
this, you can do that, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on.
it
This is a
kind of
little too much.
diluted the pool a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like the essence was kind of gone. Yeah, that's it. So Dan, what kind of things would you like to see specifically carry over?
Well, like I don't want them to just, I want them just like to kind of build on the foundation that they have right now, because it's already a very solid foundation that they have. Like what Rage was saying, like just bring back the guns that we all like, or like just bring back all the guns and just like make some tweaks to like guns that are clearly need tweaking, like the shorty, like the burst, and like the tac shotty, and just like tweak those guns, and then maybe I would personally like to see like the game kind of pick up in pace just
Hmm.
a hair, because a lot of the times, like if you're not playing with like if you're not going up against aggressive people or playing with aggressive people, games can really just like
Slow down.
slug on and just like go on and feel like you're playing a match forever. I feel like the pace should be brought up just a little bit. Maybe incorporate like some new guns with that speed change in mind.
Hmm.
Maybe some type of SMG. Maybe I don't know if SMGs really work in a scenario just because, like you said, the ammo consumption might not be the same
Yeah.
or however. But just implement some type of new weapons because it would be cool to have them all come back. But I'd also like to see some new stuff. I'm not really 100% sure like what kind of new stuff because I'm trying to like think about like weapon balance and all that stuff in
Or
mind.
at
It's like they
least
really,
more weapon
yeah,
customization.
yeah, like they built such a good foundation already. I don't want them
Hmm.
to stray too much from that. Like don't pull like a Destiny 2 where it's like
Yeah.
you ended Destiny 1 so strong with all this stuff, and you just like, oh, let's just try to, flip it on its head and see how people like it. Like, no, just build on what you guys already have, and
Yeah.
just
Don't
like
jump
go
the
from
shark.
there.
Yeah.
And I definitely would like to do like what you were saying with like the LTM when it comes to like loads and stuff. They can do something like how Halo used to do back in like the Halo 3 days, where they would have like different game modes on like rotation. Like I know a lot of them were like big team battles on rotation this weekend, or like Griff Ball, which is like a
Hmm.
like a fun LTM mode, which is kind of like a soccer type game. It's like just have different things on rotation and just keep things fresh and keep things like up to date. I would like to see stuff like that for sure.
Yeah, and when you said it, it made me think of something. Like, what if during a match, like a supply raid match, like you couldn't select a silenced weapon as your starting item. Instead, like you had to find certain materials on the
Like
map while you
craft a
were playing,
silencer.
and then you can craft a silencer. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
like
how the single player is working. In the
yes,
single player, you can
exactly,
like
and you can
craft silencers.
yeah, and then maybe it lasts for like whatever 24 shots, and then you have to like craft another one. But it just adds a little bit of a variance of play that could make it more immersive and fun. Yeah, no, those are great ideas, Dan. Thanks, man.
And that
Uh,
would that would be cool.
Urban, what do you think? What would you like to see
So,
carried
so
over?
guys, I think everything's brilliant as it is, but say 'cause I'm not very good at guns, so I think I would like to have more that you can pick up bricks and throw bricks and
Hmm.
stun people. Yeah, I would like it to have a catapult maybe, so that you can just look around for stuff and utilize that. So less like for me, less like the bursts and the shotguns, and more like being able to use the environment. Maybe there's like rock falls that you can shoot at, like more like traps in the environment to trigger.
Yeah,
Um,
immersive
I like
environments,
that.
things
Yeah.
that is part in destructive environments as well. I know Alex Nedden is really big on destructive environments. We've already seen a bunch in the gameplay they showed, like where Ellie breaks the window and stuff like that. Like little things where you know the environment breaks down and also has an effect on the people that are in the area. So yeah, that's a good one. Rachel, do you have anything you'd like to add to this?
I am so sorry. I took a phone call. I thought we were working from the top down.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I picked that up really quick. I
I
could
am
tell
so
that.
sorry. I was thinking,
No,
oh, I
you're
could
good.
still listen and talk to someone else. And I was like, okay, Rachel, do you have anything to say? I was like, oh my god, I'm on a phone call. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Um, I'm good with things how they are, but
Hmm.
I really want to be able to keep my mollies. I really like to be able to see that, to be able to use those again because I just love using them. I'm a wee bit more on urban side. That I'm not too fussed on weapons and things like that. Although it would be really good to see some improvements because we all know how they work. But you know, as long as it isn't over diluted, there's too much stuff going on,
Hmm.
because I think that'll take away from the real impact and uniqueness
Yeah,
that faction brings. I think if you over dilute something, you kind of ruin the the blueprint of it.
yeah, yeah. No,
So as long as it's kept simple and it's still unique, and we still maybe still have small maps, and maybe one mode could be like a big huge city or something like that, and where we're running around, maybe GTA style. I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of a wee bit going a bit far in that. Excuse me, a little bit far in that, but I still want the main part of gameplay to be similar to what we have now. Um, yeah, so
yeah.
Yeah.
I
maybe
agree.
mainly options,
The
but more.
the 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 pace is great. I do like the current pace of the game. I mean, it could maybe be instead of like maybe upping the pace more for the camping and just like the really slow scenarios. One, like you can get rid of covert training. Particularly covert training 3. I don't really think 2 or 3
Yeah.
really needs to be
yeah,
there.
yeah.
I think you can get rid of those. You limit the listening mode more, which they kind of have in the second one. You don't see people perfectly outlined. They're just kind of this haze. Like you know generally where they are, but you don't know
Mm.
exactly what they're doing. I kind of like that. Get rid of the covert training. The other thing I have for people who are literally just camping is you have natural, kind of like these natural consequences. So say someone is just sitting in the corner for over a minute. Maybe some crows start crowing, and people know
Oh
that
my
there's
God, that's
that
a great
someone's
idea.
Circling the
like
player.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
like the crows are just like, "Ha, ha," or like maybe it's dogs barking. Each map could have a different kind of like trigger that hey, someone is just
Yes.
camping over there, and the
Hmm.
Yeah.
environment naturally lets you know someone has just been chilling there for a really long time, and then
Yeah, or a
you're like,
train of
okay,
bugs or something. Yeah, that's
yeah,
a great
yeah,
idea.
there's stuff like that,
Yes.
and then there's other little
That
weapons
would
that I
be
think
good. Yeah.
yeah, I think there's other weapons that could really be very simple and work with the theme of post-apocalypse. Like, I really like the idea of a flare gun, not just for, in particular, like an infected mode. Like, you can get the infected to go towards your enemies. Like, you shoot the flare at them and they follow that flare
Hmm.
in that direction. That'd be super cool. kind of like in the Left Behind when Ellie sees the hunters fighting the infected, and you can like throw bricks and stuff like that, and then the infected go towards the enemies. Same kind of thing like that. But also,
Yeah.
if someone is camping, like if you shoot the flare gun, maybe it makes it just like a molly would keep the ground on fire for a while. You could do that same thing where it's like if you know someone's camping over there, you just shoot it over there, and they just can't be there anymore, or they'll get burned and damaged.
And how do you find having clickers put into the multiplayer at all?
For me, I would want it to be a limited mode. I do
Yeah.
like the current supply rate of humans versus humans. For me, and I kind of mentioned this in a previous video, the infected, they're just a little bit more predictable, and I really found the more human elements of the game more exciting. I kind of like. Um,
Yeah.
I kind of like just the PvP, and so I think you can have a mode where it has that, but I wouldn't want it to be like the main focus. I mean,
No, I
don't
think it would become really boring.
yeah,
I
don't
feel
get
like
me
it
wrong.
would. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say don't get me wrong. I do like the idea of like what we currently have supply rate, and all of a sudden, like a small group of infected come in, and kind of like suddenly you're fighting two groups. That sounds really intense and exciting. But I wouldn't
Yeah.
want that all the time. It needs to be pretty
No,
limited.
that's like a special game mode. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like if you
Yeah.
opt in for that. If you just want the chaos, then that's an option. I think that would be quite good fun.
I mean, the infected movements are quite easy to predict. I mean, they can only do a certain amount of things and go, so it wouldn't be much of a challenge, would it?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are asking me about like, oh, they should have them like just like wandering the map, but I feel like it would kind of just be like a gimmick, kind of just how like the maps like dam gets foggy or whatever get like the snow. Like it would be cool at first, but then you're just like, all right, this is kind of just like annoying at this point.
Yeah.
Like eventually it'll get to that point
Yeah.
where like, okay, this was cool for like the first couple of months, but now this is just like annoying.
Well, that is something I would like to see maybe more of at the maps is you can have more like environmental effects. Like, why not have rain? I think like rain on the dam would be pretty cool. Like if you had a scope, all of a sudden you have like, like
Oh, lightning.
the water on your scope,
Yeah.
Or yeah,
oh, that's
or-
good.
or if you can have like both night and day and
Night would
twilight
be crazy.
for each of the maps, Particularly if you had a mode like Survivors, why not have it start like in the morning and then get later each round? It gets like a little bit later. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
There's lots of little things. I mean, an idea of just thinking about the HUD, the heads-up display. If you don't run a primary, why can't you have two sidearms? Like just have two sidearms is something you could do. I think that'd be super cool. Like carry a revolver and a 9mm.
Cool.
Yeah,
That would
and
be pretty cool.
yeah, and you can just set it up so like left is revolver, right is 9mm. So you can just kind of like, I'm not saying you have to fire them both at the same time, like Tomb Raider style.
Oh my
like
god,
that.
yeah. That
Like you
would-
don't have to like that's a little bit much, but yeah, two enforcers, two enforcers.
Oh my God.
That would be pretty dope. See two enforcers. Actually, I take that back. Two enforcers,
Yes.
Tomb Raider style would be pretty damn fun.
Two burst pistols. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, that could be
I think I think like an infected mode would be cool, like another LTM where it's just like because they did something like this in Modern Warfare 3 where like it was like infected and like some rounds like everybody only has like a shotgun and that's it, and then like I guess like however many people spawn on and like a countdown happens and like one person randomly gets infected and they have to like try to kill people and they infect and it goes on and on and on. They do something like that where it's like everybody starts with like a crossbow or like a bow or like a pistol and then like one person gets infected and they have to the goal is to get everybody infected or survive.
Yeah,
And
last person
depending on-
standing.
Yeah, like that would be
Yeah,
something
yeah.
cool in this game that I would like to see.
Yeah.
That would be-
There's
that
a
would-
part. Sorry.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead,
I just
Rachel.
get these I just get these ideas sometimes. There's a part I think it's in PUBG, I think, where you are the infected and you have to go and find, survivors.
Hmm
Is that something anybody would be interested in, or do you think that's a wee bit too of...
That would be
cheesy or
interesting.
cliche?
Like, what if it was like imagine
The
like
other way
a
around.
4v4 lobby, and one of your people were like kept by the other four, and you had to go save that one person. I
Yeah.
could see that. I could see that maybe being fun. It's kind of like trying to like almost like a tower defense kind of thing. You're trying to break in. Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be cool. Other things
But then
that
as a zombie or whatever, you're kind of only limited to a certain amount of things, aren't you?
yeah, if you were a zombie, I was just thinking of PvP in that scenario, like
Mm,
where you're trying to like
yeah.
rescue, like 'cause I can't imagine the infected would like keep someone hostage. They'd just eat them, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, who knows?
What, zombies versus survivors?
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
I think like a standard horde mode like that, like co-op, I think it'd be fun at first, but I feel like the replay value isn't there.
Yeah.
I think
I
after you've
agree.
played it for like 2 weeks, you'd kind of be like, you- that's the thing about this is the human element is like, even to this day, people do unpredictable things, and you come across players that are really good that aren't the standard. Like, it's not just that they're really good at aiming; it's that they're very sneaky and sly about how they go about things. And that's something that's really cool. Is so many different types of enemy. Like literally in this game, you have endless amounts of types of opponents because each person plays this game a little bit differently. Um, Something just before we get to our third question and then the QAs that I was thinking that really isn't in this game, what would really help with the teamwork aspect is being able to like share ammo or share ingredients. That seems
Oh,
like
yes,
something
that's
that
a good
could
idea.
be, like included pretty easily
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
because like there's certain situations where you have like one person's got like a ton of ammo and like you're like, oh man, I'm out. Like literally your character says like, oh damn, I'm out. Like it's like why you be like, oh here's like 10 like bullets, like
So
boom.
like,
Or even ingredients as well. The amount of times you're missing one thing to craft something.
and you
Yeah.
can never
That,
find it.
It's like, does
yeah,
anyone
yeah,
have
exactly.
binding? I haven't gotten binding the whole
Yeah.
match.
Or would that make it too
Yeah.
easy? Because it's like, like that is something I've asking for all the time. If you could just share ingredients, that'd be cool.
Like I
Yeah.
feel like it depends because there's like the whole like box economy or like the box charity where it's like if you're down you just start getting like a bunch of stuff from the box
hmm
Yeah.
and then I can see people like kind of like abusing that just a little bit. Yeah,
Oh
just
sure.
like purposely playing like shit just to get stuff from the box and now everybody has 4 mollies and 2 bombs. Like I could see people doing that
This
real
is a good
easy.
point, and this is a good thing actually we should talk about really quick before we get to the third question, is the idea of toolboxes just out in the middle of open with stuff in them. Now, I don't know about you, but in a post-apocalyptic situation, that'd be the last place that I would go
Yeah, I was about
to
to say.
get something. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, here's this bright red toolbox. Like, don't you want to open that up? It's like, there's most likely a bomb or some kind of trap in there or some
Yeah.
sniper waiting
Yeah.
behind a bush just waiting for you to go near it, and then they'd take you out.
I think it would be good to have little pieces that you have to go around and find instead of just all into one box. where you have to,
Exactly. I would think like some structures, like you have to like go into a structure and like open the drawers just like the single player really quick and you
Yeah.
can grab stuff or just stuff that's on the walls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's just like hanging on little shelves. I think that definitely could be implemented.
Yeah.
It would require a little more infrastructure and work, but at least then you're getting the items within some sort of cover a little bit. And so it makes it less, vulnerable than just having this toolbox right out in the open. Because that was the first thing that happened, especially now still, is like people like, oh, there's the toolbox, and someone's just camping the toolbox, and you take that people out so easily.
Yeah, I'd be happy not
Right.
to see the toolbox again.
Yeah.
Do you know something else as well? What about if you could like pull people out of windows or off ledges? Do you think that'd be a cool thing?
Like
Just
Uncharted
sort of-
style kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like checkpoint where people can camp up on ledges and things that you could just sneak up behind or shiv them in the ankles.
Oh my god, that's awful.
Or like, or even how it's like awkward sometimes, where it's like if you're
Shivering is
going up
bad
against
enough.
somebody and you're both in front of like a window, so like neither of you can like hop through. There can be like some type of thing where it's like you can like reach over like a melee where you can try to hit them over the window or like do something. Because sometimes people get at like a weird angle where it's just like because of the third person shooter and like you might be trying like to shoot over the ledge. Like we all have had this happen. We're trying to shoot like over the lip of the window but we can't see it just because of like the way the game is set up. If there was kind of like a melee that you could do to kind of like hit them while they're over that edge, like just to get them like to move. That'll give you
Yeah.
like some room to like get in the window or for them to get out or something like that. Just to like
That could be-
things like
yeah.
that would increase like the pace of the game. I feel like just like
Yeah.
That should
more
be part of
abilities
like a
like
brawler
that.
perk that you can do that. You can reach in if you've got brawler 2 on or something. You can reach in and you've got the advantage.
Yeah,
I don't know about shivering in the ankle though. God, that sounds terrible.
I was just thinking because Tomb Raider, she can reach up and axe somebody.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, that's always pretty good, isn't it? I love
yeah,
that.
it's a good move.
And I like when you're in Uncharted, I know we're talking about The Last of Us here, but since you brought that up, to be able to grab someone like that
Yeah,
and
pull 'em
throw
off
them down
ledges.
is really satisfying.
I
Yeah.
feel like
you
there
know?
should be some type of like when it comes because like for when it comes to stuff like that, you can easily get stuck in like animations, especially like when it comes to just like a one hit stick where somebody just like tracks on you and it's like, oh well, like that's it. Like there should be some way to like counter like some type of something that like sticks you in animation. I'm gonna use like the one hit stick as like an example. Like if there's like something that pops up that will allow you to like either like dodge it or like do something, because like those one hit sticks, there's like nothing you can do once they're tracked on you. Like it's a wrap.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a tractor. Yeah, they actually are. That's something with The Last of Us Part 2 gameplay that they've revamped the melee system. This is from Anthony Newman, and he designed most of the Part 1 melee. And there's now you can parry, you can dodge, and everything is
Yo.
like knife kind of. It's like you said, a knife, melee, axe kind of
Mhm.
fights. Which I kind of like because it kind of like gets rid of like the kind of like punching idea, which wouldn't really work with Ellie. But I kind of like that as well with the multiplayer. Is if everyone at least had like a shiv. Like if you have a shiv, like why aren't you like slashing people with the shiv? Why are you punching them and stuff like that? That doesn't make as much sense to
Right.
me. But yeah, the idea of be able to dodge, some kind of combination on the keypad where you could literally dodge an incoming like really obvious hit stick kind of thing, and they're working a
Yeah.
lot on that because they're super aware of the ice skates issue and they're trying
hmm
as much. I know they talked to the For Honor people about how they got their
Yo, let's
melee.
yo For Honor's melee. I was just about to like, cause For Honor's melee combat is like the best. Like the way it
Yeah,
works, where it's like you have to be in like the same direction as the person. There's feints. There's all like I love that game so much. I wish it was better, but the community's
yeah.
trash in that game. But yeah, like the way that whole gameplay is so solid.
So
When it
yeah,
comes to like just melee.
they did talk to him about their melee online and getting it to work. I mean, it is two like one person versus one person in that game, so it's a little
Yeah.
bit different as far as like ping rates and stuff go. But they're trying to take that kind of element and add it to The Last of Us, which is kind of cool because it'd be cool to have like these people who are really good at melee and people who are really good at aiming, in the same kind of match. It kind of really adds a whole nother dynamic to it. Just
hmm
something. Okay, I know I've said this like 3 times, but one last thing before we move on to the third question. If you look in the picture of the dam, in the far upper left corner, there's actually a sniper's perch. And I remember listening to a talk, I forget who it was by, and that used to be accessible, but they determined that they were too OP to have these sniper perches that were way up high on the dam. Um, and that's something I would actually like to see more of is elevation. The dam is the map that has the most of it. Like when you're on the top of the dam and you're looking down at the bottom, you can get these long distance cross map fights, which is to me pretty damn awesome. And the idea of having these sniper perches, it would have to be adjusted a bit. I could see how people would just camp up there,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but
That's what I was thinking.
there I do feel like there's ways that you could make it so it's not an advantage, whether it's a destructible environment where you could take it down, you could literally shoot it down,
Yeah.
or
Yes,
put a bomb
yeah,
at the
Yeah.
bottom. That could be
'Cause
cool.
everybody will be battling for that high ground.
yeah.
Yeah. Or
Mhm.
maybe you have to collect a certain amount of stuff to like pick a lock or to somehow construct a ladder to even get up there. Like you could have some kind of thing like that in game. It's getting a little bit like convoluted and maybe a little wonky, but I do like the idea that they initially had those and they took them out because they're also on beach. Those same kind of
hmm
perches are on beach as well, and they decided like, no, we're gonna take these out.
I would just say make it destructible. Like as easy as it is to access, make it just as easy to destroy.
Yeah, just take
Just throw
take
Molly
the
on it.
beams out and it falls down. It's like
Catch it
this
on
person's
fire.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Molly's. I heard Molly being mentioned. Could
Yeah.
always,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
could always have something as simple as that.
that would be cool. All right, so a third question, and then we'll get to the Q&A for those of you watching. So this month, PS Plus made The Last of Us free, and so now there is literally a huge, and like we're talking thousands of new players that have joined. And this multiplayer has a very steep learning curve. It was steep like 4 years ago, and it's even more steep now. And you have these sweaty players with years of experience going against new players who are literally trying to figure out the controls, some of them. A guy asked me, "How do you select your primary weapon?" And that was like the beginning of the map. I'm like,
Oh no.
"Mike, this is gonna be fun, buddy. You got to stick with me. This is gonna be good." He actually did good. He went like 5, 5, and 5. He's like, "I got 5 people." I'm like, that was
That's
awesome for your first
decent.
time, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't even
Yeah.
get that.
Nor me.
He was super excited. It was great. Do you guys think, is there anything that they can do that could assist these new players so that they'll be interested in joining the multiplayer for this upcoming one as well? Like sticking with this one and then getting them excited about the next one versus having them just have their whole soul and heart crushed right off the bat, by coming in and getting obliterated. What do you guys think? Is there anything Naughty Dog could do right now that'd be a simple fix for this?
Balance.
I don't know if there's a simple fix, is there? Because then you kind of take away the element of it, of the kind of fear. You kind of want to still have that.
They can just take out Covert right now.
Yeah.
Covert,
Take
Although
Covert
I
out
do
the
use
game.
it.
I wouldn't necessarily say covert though.
Yeah.
I'd say just put level zeros against level zeros, I guess, and
Yeah,
something like that.
adjust the matchmaking a bit.
Adjust,
That could be one thing, yeah.
matchmaking.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one thing that could ensure that low levels face low levels.
Yeah, from my experience, just in the games I've played this month, particularly with the new players, there is no like beginner's guide. Like maybe more prompts, like press left to select your primary, like press this to reload, like just things that kind of walk them through like the first like 20 weeks, that like it'll like the same way you get prompted for like, hey, you can buy armor now, or hey, you can buy your purchasable now. Same thing, like if their like health is like 20% and they have a med kit and they're not healing, like, hey, press up and hold this to heal yourself, like those kind of things. They have that in the story mode, like the very first time you heal, like kind of have that, and maybe even the option to turn it off would be helpful. The other kind of like just really simple thing I see is I think they should nerf the tactical, both damage and range. Make it less, and the burst should go back to the 400, 800 upgrade that it was, and its headshot damage.
Maybe even 500.
Yeah.
Do you
Needs
still have to
be-
buy the guns, the DLC guns, or they just make them all for everybody? They just make them available.
No,
for
you still have to
everybody?
buy them. You still have to buy them. The PS3 got free. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the year the rest of this was free for the PS4.
Yeah.
Or jokingly, they could add a TLOU TV tab and just have Nick 830's videos playing
no.
on his how-to guides, playing on a repeat
tricks.
in your video with the 50 tips. Just have it on.
You're thinking
rotation.
of Uncharted again here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
just takes
With
take some
Sancho?
tips from Uncharted.
I think at this point it'd be too much to add like the TV thing. Like,
Yeah.
I would just
Yeah,
like
that's a
something
dub.
just-
That's not happening.
That would be funny.
I think just something really simple. It's like literally, it's like, hey, just like nerf those two guns, nerf the shorty as well. Maybe make that one 300, 500 to upgrade, make its range less, make its damage less. Those are just like really simple things that I feel like they could do right now.
Fire
That
rate.
that would help the new players quite a bit, because when I see the new players getting destroyed, it's mostly tacticals and bursts.
Yeah, because some people just don't care if they're playing against noobs. They rather
Yeah.
play against noobs because they just that ego stroke.
I think what I would like to see is, before they come into a match, a little tutorial that brings them onto a blank map, just an ordinary one where you're there on your own.
Oh yeah,
And maybe
yeah.
some kind of like walkthrough that'll only take a couple of minutes, how to plant a bomb, how to do certain things, how to
you know
upgrade
what?
things
Yeah,
like
that's a
that.
good idea.
Now that
yeah.
you say that,
Yeah.
why not have that? Why not have that right under, like have how you have supply raid, survivors, interrogation? Why not have one either right below it, right above it? It's like walkthrough, right?
Yeah.
It's like you literally, it's like you can, it'll
I mean, it wouldn't take
you
much
to
to
a
do
map.
that.
It's like, hey, here's a med kit. These will be placed all around the maps. You can pick them up.
Yeah,
you can
this is
heal.
how you lay a bomb or
Yeah,
whatever.
this is a toolbox. Exactly. Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
cool. It could probably take like 10 minutes, like a 10-minute walkthrough.
Yeah, because I've been in games where you have to do that before you do
Yeah.
anything else,
Yeah. I always thought the supply box was to share as well, and I laugh at it now, but I seriously didn't want to appear greedy and take everything. So when
I
I
did
first
that
started
once.
playing, I love stuff behind. So yeah, I'd never played multiplayer, so that was just like, yeah,
I
crazy
think
for
I
me
actually
just to
did that at the
demonstrate
very
it.
start as well. There was like two things in there, and I was thinking, oh my god, this is
Oh
crap.
yeah.
But I'll leave one for the next person.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Wow, I was right. This was a long time ago, okay?
Yeah,
Last week.
you know, and that wasn't like explicitly said that the toolbox was just for you. Like
No, they
that's
didn't say it,
it
no.
wasn't said, you know. So some people didn't know.
No.
They're like, "Oh man, I'm greedy. I took all of it." It's like, no, it's like you're supposed to, you know. And I like that people thought that as well, you know, because it shows that they were thinking team based, like right off the bat, which
Exactly,
is
yeah.
what this
Yes,
game is
Urban,
all
we're
about,
team based.
for sure. All right. Anything else you guys want to say about that? Little, quick, easy things that can be done to help out
I think we
new
should just
players.
have a gun amnesty and just punch. That's it. Just go. If you're in a lobby with
God.
loads of noobs, no, seriously, it can be done. Just put on first aid and reviver and just heal the noobs and punch everybody.
Yeah, sure thing.
I have seen people do
Yeah,
that.
but I think,
I've seen experienced players just punch. They
Yeah.
still took them out really easily. I hate to say it.
Exactly.
yeah, I I on stream got about 20 downs with a flamethrower against noobs, but I did struggle one time when I went against a full team of noobs at covert. So I do feel like these overpowered perks could help them, even though I know that high levels still exploit these like overpowered perks like covert and tech. But I
Yeah.
do feel like it can help these noobs somehow, you know, to go up against players like me. Because I'm obviously vocal against covert, but
Yeah.
and I struggle against it. I mean, everyone knows that. So yeah, it's just
well,
something that
that's-
could help noobs.
That's the thing
I
is
guess.
is the covert is when you break it down, it's pretty ridiculous how strong it is. Because
Yeah,
with Covert 3, it's always activated. You know, you can it encourages you to just sit somewhere and not move and not show up in listening mode. And
Yeah.
it gives you a shiv. I mean, the
And
idea
it's
that you
really-
get both
yeah.
of those, it's pretty.
Yeah.
It should be like a
It's
7
pretty
or
open,
8
yeah.
loadout point.
And it's
Exactly,
really lethal.
exactly.
And it's
Should.
it's really lethal in the hands of people who actually know how the game works, more so than
Exactly.
people who don't.
Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
people who are very good players, very very good players, and they'll run Sharpshooter 3 with Covert Training 2 and First Aid 1.
Ooh.
You know, and it's just like, and they're really good shots, and it's like, yeah, you're not gonna
Exactly,
lose. You're not gonna lose. You know, it's like that's kind of takes the fun out of it a little bit for me. I mean, even if I'm good with my throwables, it doesn't matter because you're gonna be
Doesn't
behind
matter.
cover. You're gonna get the jump on me because I'm probably
Every
not
time.
running covert. Yeah, so.
And you're a
Yeah.
good shot, so yeah.
Yeah, you're a good
Yep.
shot. And if I do get head to head with you, you have Sharpshooter 3, which I may not be running. I may only have like Lone Wolf, so I have 2. So, yeah, that's just one of those things, right? All right, so
Yep.
that's things that I feel like they could do for sure. This is really simple things.
sure.
I mean, a couple weapons, a couple perks, maybe adjust them slightly. I don't think anyone would be offended like 6 years into it now if they made the tactical and the burst and maybe even covert training slightly less effective. I really don't.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take some Q&A, some questions. You can ask a question for the whole group. You can ask for an individual if you want. Yeah, it's up to you. So what do you guys think? What's some questions that you would like to have answered at this point? PS5 will have very fast loading screens.
Oh yeah, TLOU 2 remastered confirmed.
Did
What
we
do
touch on that? Whether we wanted Factions 2 on PS4 or PS5?
So I've read a couple of good things. One by Alex and another guy named Matt Burish, I think his name is. The PS5 has very good backwards compatibility, like this new technology that they had patented. And this is actually brilliant because what they can do is they can make the factions, this multiplayer game, on PS4, and it will run excellently on PS5. So that way you have the same pool, both PS4 and PS5 players can play the same multiplayer game,
Yeah.
and you won't lose people like due to separation, like same way that PS3 and PS4 Last of Us were separate. This would be the same, and I think that's actually a really smart way of doing it. So yeah, there's that. Jonestown had a good one. What do you guys think about leagues and ladders? Do you want like a competitive mode where you have that kind of like ladder system, or do you kind of like it how it is? What do you guys think about that?
I feel like a ranked mode would be cool because there are a lot of people who, like BoJack, for instance, he's always very vocal about how he loves ranked, and it would definitely make for like a very clear separation between like casual and tryhard. Because right now it's just like you just hop on, you don't really know what you're gonna get. But
Yeah,
it's like once
I
you
kind
if
of
you
like
hop
that.
into a ranked mode, it's like you kind of know like yeah, I'm about to be going up against like the best. People are gonna be trying
Hmm.
just as hard as I am. I feel
Hmm.
like that would be cool. I don't know how much it would get used, but
Yeah, I'm torn on it a little bit because I see how the Uncharted 4 one went,
mhm,
and it and not even that. Also, Overwatch. People get so salty about it.
yep,
The idea of a ranked mode in a team-based um, game makes
mhm,
people get really upset. The second one person makes one mistake, and all of a sudden they feel like their whole week is ruined, um,
Mhm.
because like, oh, it's like now we went down a rank. It's just like, man, that's really tough. It's like I get it,
yeah,
but I don't know. I kind of feel like it also can be really divisive because I hear more negative things about the rank modes than positive. Like a lot of people
mhm,
say they really want it, but then those same people really complain about it. Like, oh, this is unfair, and so it's almost like they can't be pleased. Probably unless if
right,
they're pretty high up on the rank system, then they'd be happy. Um,
Yeah.
so I kind of go back and forth with that. Um, and even now, like with the like, this is a thing. There's so many Smurfs right now, right? With all these new accounts, there's people
mhm,
that have been playing this game a very long time, and they started a new account, and like you see this guy who's a level 0, and
Mhm.
within 2 seconds this is not a level 0. just
yeah,
Crap.
Yes.
just yeah, some of the advanced moves that they're doing is like, nope,
Yeah.
I don't think so, and that's kind of funny, right? That's kind of a funny thing. Um, Let's see. There was another really good one. How about tracking? Tiff Alien had a good question about tracking. Um, See, trample grass, muddy footprints, something like that, or if it was a perk where you could track your opponents
Oh,
on the
yeah, a
ground.
tracking perk.
I
Yes,
kind
I
of
would
I
go.
kind of really like that idea. We do
Mhm.
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
you have like on Lakeside, you can only see like your own footprints at this point in the snow. Um, and there's other ones where like if you go through water, you'll see your own water footprints for a little bit. At this point, you only see your own, but that would be interesting, particularly like in the single player when Ellie's in the winter tracking a deer because of blood. So if you shoot someone, their blood drops kind of lead in the direction that they run away. That could be cool. It seems like maybe it wouldn't be
Yeah,
too challenging
that
to
would be
implement
cool.
something simple like that. What do you
Mhm.
guys think?
That
I
would be really cool. I actually like that, especially given that, say this covert in the next game, then you shoot him and supposedly
mm-hmm.
he like hides behind somewhere. At least you could track him somehow. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's just
yeah.
yeah.
You,
given.
you see blood on the ground, or like a blood hand mark on a wall that he brushed against, or something. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like
that could be fun. I could see that.
I feel like the
Yeah.
I mean,
maps.
in the single player of The Last of Us 2, we see the dogs being able to scent track
Mm-hmm.
Ali or whoever. I mean, you could bring that over, not so much to the scent. Sorry, Urban, if I've kind of given something away there.
It's okay. It's okay.
I've just saw it.
It's fine.
So that could be implemented over to the multiplayer in some kind of fashion because that kind of goes well, together.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe not so much the scent because that would just be everywhere, wouldn't
That would
Yeah.
Just
make
a
sense.
deodorant perk.
it? Yeah. Yeah, that could be a perk, yeah. To
You can call
upgrade.
in a dog and the dog could sniff them out.
Yeah, that's it. Like a bit of Call of Duty thing, you just bring the dog, is it? Yeah.
I feel like the maps would be need to be kind of like bigger for like a tracking thing to really be like effective. Because like
Yes.
if it's like a small map, then it's just gonna be shit all over the place.
Yep.
So like the only time I've seen like tracking like that done is in like Apex,
Mm-hmm.
where there's like a character
Hmm.
called Bloodhound, and you can track people.
Yeah.
Like you can track people within like a certain radius. So I think it's like
Yeah.
only like if they've been there within like a minute or so.
Yeah.
So that
Then
would
you
be like
can
a
see
good
them.
way like to balance it. But then also like that the map in Apex is huge. So I feel like the maps would have to be like bigger for it to actually be effective?
The maps, I believe, will be bigger. Part of the reason the maps for this game were initially bigger, but then they had to reduce them for resources. So much of this, because this was designed for PS3, they actually maxed out the PS3 capabilities to run this. It was fully
and that's
maxed.
what they're actually planning on doing for the PS4. That's what I've heard, that it's maxing it out. The single player game.
I'm sure the single player will be maxed out, yeah, and I'm sure.
I read the interview with Neil.
Yeah,
so that's the thing,
that,
if it's compatible with PS5, you max it out for PS4, and then it runs very smoothly on PS5, and it can still have some enhancements the same way the PS Pro enhances the PS4 game. I could see that being great, and I do like the idea of it all being one lobby, like the same player pool is PS5, PS4. That can make for a very long and sustainable multiplayer. Because imagine if PS3 and PS4 players were still in the same lobby, like the same system. Like, because there was a lot of players. There's still a lot of players that were on PS3 that haven't upgraded the PS4 yet. You know, and just imagine if all those players were still with it. Like, we're talking that's still that'd be pretty impressive to keep that amount. It's just I think financially and system-wise, it's a good idea to keep them all together.
Because you can imagine not all people are going to make the jump from PS4 to PS5, so you might as well keep the PS4 player base.
Yeah, cause like I'm literally about to like order a PS4 Pro, and it's like I know because like just like when the PS4 came out, like when the PS4 came out, I didn't get it for like 2 years because like there weren't really any games I really wanted to play on there. So I'm like, there's not really a reason for me to have this console right now. And I feel like it's like that's kind of like how a lot of console releases are. Is that like unless like games are just like, yeah, we're done making PS4 stuff, we're done making this, we're done making that. Like we're strictly just gonna be making like PS5 stuff from now on, which I feel like game companies aren't gonna do. Like people, because like especially like if they're still in development on games, like they've already been working on a PS4 like dev package for so long that then like switching, like just like saying, oh, we're not doing that anymore, we're just gonna go straight to PS5 would be like really like not smart. So like I feel like there is still going to be like a life cycle on the PS4 even once the PS5 comes out.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
I agree, and that's the beauty of this cross-play, like backwards compatibility of the PS5 is it first of all gives the PS5 a lot of games that you can play right off the bat, these PS4 ones that are already out, and also it makes it for a smoother transitions of people like moving over to the PS5. It's like they can get it and keep all their PS4 games and keep playing those as well as the PS5 games come out. It's really smart. It's a good way of doing it. And yeah, let's get some other questions here.
I see people talking about Naughty Dog being more like involved in the community, having like a point of contact for Naughty Dog, like a community manager or something like that.
We need that, dude. Honestly.
They have been, for those of you who are on Twitter, if you're not on Twitter, I highly, highly suggest you get on there. If for no other reason, then a lot of this information is out here and people don't know. Like, so there's still people out there that think that The Last of Us has zero chance of having a multiplayer. Like, Part 2, isn't going to have it, but this whole idea of that they are still building a multiplayer, some people just don't even know it. And it's like, oh, it's right there on Twitter. They literally announced it, and people just don't know.
Get on Twitter, guys. It's free. Get on Twitter.
It's free. Like, you don't have to use it for like your entire life. I use it just for the Last of Us stuff, and it's great. And the developers on there have been very active lately. This past year, some of them, and especially the last 2 months, the multiplayer guys have been posting stuff and getting back to people on things. Obviously, they're still working very hard on The Last of Us Part 2. So they can't do it all the time, but the response that we got on Outbreak Day was incredibly fast, and I thank them for that. Like, that was unprecedented. Like, usually with game companies, if you want a response, they will not get back to you. You'll get silence. But they responded same day, let us know like, hey, we can't announce this formally right now, but we are doing something. And then the actual developers came on and say, hey guys, we're working on this. It's very exciting. We can't wait to share it with you. We can't tell anything else about it at this point. But like that alone right there for me was like, perfect. Thank you. That's great.
I mean,
good to hear.
Going back to that article that I wrote, that you probably know about too, I don't think any of that was just an instant decision. Personally speaking, I think that from the very first moment, Naughty Dog, they've always been listening. We know that for sure. We know that, But I think it was a very well thought out PR stunt. I think they knew the impact that they were going to make on Outbreak Day. This was like planned for probably quite some time. Yeah, I mean, now everyone knows about The Last of Us multiplayer, so there's another win. So it's going to be on the lips of everyone,
like
and it leads into it going free. What it would have been next month, but this month, to bring more members in.
Yeah.
Like I said in my video, Naughty Dog's a lot of things, but they're not stupid. They're playing.
No, they're the cleverest probably company.
They're playing chess. They're playing chess.
Yeah.
Just to add.
Oh, go ahead.
Few straps, right?
Yeah.
So I play a lot of Battlefield, right? I pilot a lot on Battlefield, right? And we have these things called EA Game Changers for just people that communicate to their audience and just talk to their audience about what's happening in the future about the game, and just updating people on what the developers intend to do with the game. So I feel like Naughty Dog
the state
could
of
do
the
that
game.
Exactly, with its content creators. Say people are complaining about COVID, or people complaining about what's it called again? The TAC. Naughty Dog can then talk to the game changers, and we can make a decision on what happens, to certain perks and everything. I guess that's, I don't know. I don't know if it's possible for them to do that, but I feel like it'll just it's easier for them and for us, I guess, since we're the people that actually play the game, and then it'll bring out a better game in general.
I think we are in a very interesting time of multiplayer games. I think when this game came out, it was back in the day when multiplayers came out with a game and then maybe received a year of support, and then it was kind of done. And if you wanted to keep playing, that was fine. But now I think, once again, once PUBG came out, and that was kind of a phenomenon, and most of the Naughty Dog developers played PUBG, and then Fortnite came out, they saw how having a long-term updating multiplayer could be a very, very successful thing to do.
Exactly.
I touched on it in my video. Like I said, they've seen how the industry has changed.
Live service.
It's not 2013 anymore. People aren't waiting around for E3 for their annual fix of gaming news. You need to be on Twitter. Fortnite has definitely spoiled the hell out of people. Just of how transparent they are, and how they're clearly just we're working on this, we're doing this, this is coming, and everybody's gotten so used to just having the news just right there. Yeah, everybody has a smartphone nowadays. Everybody's connected, so it's you have to be there, and you have to keep on letting people know what's going on. Because it's just going to be getting worse. As more as the game industry is growing and growing, people are just going to be wanting more and more information, and that's kind of why I think people got most upset with the whole them deciding to announce this thing. It was just because they didn't tell us anything about this. If they would have outright been oh yeah, we're planning on working on something that's going to be a standalone. If they said this a while ago, instead of not saying anything for a year and a half and then dropping a release date and then saying this, then I feel it would have been better received. But because it was kind of just a shock, everybody was "Hey, yo, what do you mean? You haven't said anything for a year and a half, and you come out and say there's not going to be this, there's not going to be that. What are you talking about?"
There's a lot of confusion, wasn't there, with that? People wondered what they were talking about. Was there not going to be one? Was there going to be one? It was, I'm glad they didn't rush anything out. I'm glad they took that decision to put it to one side rather than hashing something together and us,
just tacking it on. Yeah,
definitely.
I think, what Rachel said, the way that they handle it did create a very, very strong message and shock, right? It did draw a lot of attention to the game.
Yes.
The day of Outbreak Day was trending on Twitter. I remember Bruce Straley mentioned it. He's man, 6 years ago when we did Outbreak Day, he said only he and Neil used the hashtag and just about no one else did. And then this year it was all over the place. And part of it was because of this multiplayer issue,
and now they've learned their lesson, kind of thing.
Yeah, and so it got attention, and it is true. Both negative attention and good attention is still attention. So it did draw attention to its game. And looking now,
it's
looking
kind of
back,
okay.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was going to say It's kind of like outrage marketing,
Yes, yeah,
like where big companies might promote something a little bit racist, and they know that the reaction will be
it'll
really
get a
big from people.
reaction.
Just
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So yeah,
I mean,
maybe like
with
that.
this, looking back,
Yeah.
I do think a standalone game is like so much better than if it was tacked on to The Last of Us Part Two.
Hmm.
The amount of scope and resources that can go into it. Because here's a big thing. Because so many people said like, "Oh, that's so great." Like I'm a single player. I'm kind of bitter that they had the trophies for the multiplayer and I didn't do well on that, so I couldn't platinum the game. So I'm glad that they can take all those resources and
Yeah, I
focus
hear
it on the
that all
single
the
player.
time.
And I say that's good, that's great, because once the story mode is done, it's pretty much static and it doesn't evolve from there. So they can take all those resources and put them to the multiplayer from that point on, so that we can, for the first time ever, have a huge amount of resources dedicated to the multiplayer. Because that's never happened. Naughty Dog's never
Hmm.
taken, like 80% of the resources and applied them just to a multiplayer. It's always been a small team that has done most of the multiplayer work. So
Hmm.
this is something that would be the first time if these guys, if Ed and Vinit, if they can do a really good job setting up the foundation, and then the rest of the team can get behind it and help make this multiplayer that is live and living, and that you can have seasonal changes and stuff with the game. Like imagine you're playing the game, and what if they linked it to the weather? So it's snowing outside, it's snowing in your game. Like just little simple things like that. Or if it's raining outside, it's raining
That
in
would
the
be
game.
nuts. I'd
Like
constantly be in the rain.
if you
That
if
would
you
be
if you
crap.
think about it, it'd be really easy to implement something like that. Like you just have like a weather system, and like you can just like link it to
Would
whatever
it be
Weather
easy though?
Underground.
Would
It
it?
would
Would
it
that be
would it would be
easy for
pretty
each
easy.
individual, kind of thing?
But yeah, I think it'd bring a certain kind of unfairness. Imagine like it rains for me every day here in Africa, and
Yeah.
Pretty much.
it's not so
Yeah,
like
well, I
sunny.
mean,
Like
I wouldn't say that
that
it would
type of
have
like
to be that. It's
visual
just like you can have like general
Yeah.
stuff. Like you have
option,
seasons.
or
Like
Hmm.
oh,
or
it's fall now, and obviously in
as
in
an
the
option, right?
southern hemisphere, it's opposite of what the
Yeah,
northern is. So you'd have those
yeah,
differences. But the idea of having like seasonal changes and stuff within the game would be kind of cool. It's like
okay,
if you're entering wintertime, it's like oh, you're gonna have more snow on the maps and stuff, and maybe
Yeah.
supplies are a little less or something. I don't know. You could just do like little things like that, but the idea that you can change and evolve the game with
mm,
feedback is kind of a really cool idea. Um,
yeah,
yeah, so it's so many more potential and opportunity to move forward with this. And they know what they have here is a very very good core base game. This game it's unreal. I haven't seen any multiplayer of this sense
there's nothing like it.
that has lasted as long as it has, particularly on a console. You know, console
Exactly.
multiplayers don't usually last as long. I understand PC multiplayers can last a very long time. That makes sense. Um,
Hmm.
but like a console like this, like usually they flip over pretty quick, and this one has outlasted so many. It's unreal. It's pretty dang cool. All right, maybe one or two more questions, and then I think we'll let you guys get on their game. Okay, who are your favorite TLOU content creators and/or streamers? That's a good question, Gamma. All right, what do you guys think? I know a lot of you are content creators and streamers. Um, so what are some of your favorites?
Yourselves.
Yeah, what are some of your favorites?
Who's gonna answer first?
Oh my favorite for sure is my boy Boom. Like
Yes,
those
I
those.
was gonna say Boom Boyman. He was invited. He couldn't make it this weekend. Boom Boyman got an invite for sure. Bobby Barks. There was many people that couldn't be here that were invited, and I'm gonna do more of these in the future. So we'll definitely get more people on as well.
Like
Um,
those fueled by rage videos are probably my favorite. Probably him and BoJack, just because I watch BoJack play and I'm just like, how the hell did you pull this shit off? I don't know how he does some of the shit that he does, but he does it, and I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, but Boom is probably like my favorite because it's just like I don't know what it is about UK people. But it's like when UK people are just upset. It's just entertaining to me.
It's another level of upsetness.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever heard Urban upset though. To be honest, she is so delightful and so friendly.
Yeah, even when I'm getting wrecked, I'm laughing, aren't I? I always want to, like, just congratulate people on getting a good kill on me as well. I'm like, yeah, nice
I
one.
have done that, yeah. I have actually messaged someone and said that was really amazing.
Really, really
They were
good
like, what?
shot. Oh, see, I love everybody that does all these like comeback videos. I am in awe of anybody that does that. But then I also like watching helpful people that like your 50 tips video. There was so much in there that even though I have been playing for a long time, obvious things I just completely miss. So those are the videos I like where I think Lev used to do one and it'd be like reload, and that's I never ever reload. It's kind of why I like using the bow because I just forget all the time. So anybody that does like top tips and tricks, and recently Sanchez video come up on my playlist, and it was one where he uses the bow, and it's so you do the bow shot and then punch, and I found that really inspirational. I was like, that was made for me. So
And did it work?
yeah.
Did you actually do it?
So I'm going to do a video
Oh,
now,
okay.
and that's what it's going to
That's
be
gonna be
like.
fun. I'm gonna have to watch
Swag,
this.
punch. Yeah. So for me, it's like helpful videos. Yeah. Oh, virtual. I love urban facts. Thank you. Nice.
Going through the questions. Let's see.
And then shout outs to my boy Rage for playing in parties aloud by himself all the time. You're crazy for that.
I don't know
Hey,
why people do that. That's madness.
like I get it, but like, damn. That's all I gotta say is damn.
Yeah. It's really putting yourself out there. It's you never know what you're gonna come across. We say that, and it's true. I mean, there's people that play this game for years and they know it inside and out. And yeah, sometimes it feels like you're literally going 1v4 the whole game, and that's tough.
Yeah.
But it's also that's part of the reason why we love this game, right? It's a huge challenge. It is a huge challenge. It is not an easy game, and it's multifaceted. Like I am not great at aiming. My aiming's pretty below par, I'd say. But the few things I have a few tricks up my sleeve that is like not aiming, right? It's like throwables and little movements that I do that
I
enable
enjoy
me
that
so
too,
that
yeah.
I'm for someone who you would see my aiming and some of the stuff and you say like, man, this guy really sucks. But then it's like I consistently can get double digits, and it's like, how does that happen? And that's one of the things that's cool about this game. And there's people that I respect that said like, you know what? You look at some of the new games that have come out, and most of the people that are really good at it are really young and they have really good reflexes, and it's all aiming and it's all reflexes, and that is what makes it really good. But then you have a game like this where the pace is slower, and you know what? People who maybe don't have the quickest reflexes, but just engage a little bit differently can be successful at this game. And it was in an
Yeah.
article by Alex Avard. There was a guy, I love this thing. He said like, you know what? I like this game because I suck at most games, but at this game I can actually be decent in the multiplayer. So when I play Call of Duty I get wrecked, but with The Last of Us I can actually play and have fun. I'm not the best player, I won't be at the top of the board, but I can still play and enjoy it. And I think that's kind of cool because you can really have players, especially now we have all these new players, you can have players who are brand new come in, and then you have people who have been playing this for years. And if you can get a nice happy medium where both of them enjoy the experience, that is huge. And that's kind of what I want to do right now is I'm trying to help the new players get some enjoyment out of this, not just get completely destroyed right off the bat, so that once they do get up to speed, they're like, hey, this game is really damn awesome. And for some people that takes a couple weeks. It could be like 2 weeks of playing this all the time before you find like, okay, I get it now. I know the maps. I understand. I need to stop just standing out in the open and hard scoping. Like that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of cool. It's cool to see that you can have new people even 6 years later. I mean, if you think about that, it's just insane, right? Imagine starting a game 6 years late, and trying to be competitive. Like that's that's pretty nuts,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like, oof, So I try
Yeah.
to give them a little bit of grace and try to help out as much as I can. And I mean, I don't ask much of Naughty Dog, but I really if there's some way, I think for their own sake, if there's some way they can help these new players right now, just a little bit, so that it's not such a brutal experience for them, I think that'd be great. It'd be good for this health of this game, but also the health of the next game. Just to let them know, like, hey, sorry you guys are 6 years late, but let us help you out a little bit here.
Yeah.
You know, and whether that's adjusting the current weapons, or if it's like readjusting matchmaking so you have mostly the same levels. I mean, although you do have Smurfs, you have people that are 999 spam accounts, so that's the problem. That's how you get someone going 24-0 in a lobby, you know, with everyone else. You know, that kind of stuff happens. Yep. It's true. Okay. Well, you guys, any last things you want to say?
No, thanks for having me. This was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never
it's
done
Let's
been
all
something like
play
this
together
before.
sometime, maybe.
definitely.
Interesting.
Absolutely. If you guys want to play a
That'd be
match
cool,
right
and
now,
we
we
could just-
can, and then we'll cut the stream.
Yeah, I need to probably go in about 10 minutes. I'm going for dinner, so I can have a quick match, though. Always up for a match.
Awesome.
I like how you worded that.
Oh, yeah, I know. I think I was thinking of something else in my head. Oh, dear. This is not good to have me on live anything.
Oh my god.
Gosh.
Yeah,
Let's see if we
let's
can
do
get-
that.
Maybe we can get one more, and then we can make it 3v3, right?
My controller dead? Oh no.
We'll get Monolith in here, and then it'll be 3v3, and then we'll play one game, and then we'll call it.
Cool. Did somebody just leave?
No, I don't think so. It's at the stream tonight.
Ooh, fudge. Really bright in here.
Play together.
Wow.
Let's see.
Wow.
You can get the remix in here. All right. Well, we need to get one person, and then we can go. If not, we'll just. Oh, Levraz is on. Lev is good. Let's see if he can go. Let's see who will be the first person. We can.
Who's gonna be the winner? Are you streaming this match? Oh god.
Why not? One game. Come on, Levraz. Get in here, man. Levraz is in. There we go. All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Pretty much.
So I legit have not played this game in a long time. Oh, I didn't even pick my loadout. Oh no!
Good start.
Oh, you'll be fine.
I hope it's some like memed full auto.
I don't even know what it is. Probably some. Oh man. All right.
Oh man.
Oh well. Apologies now if I'm on your team.
It's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I've
As long as
seen
you have
play
fun.
lately, Urban. You're doing. Yeah. See, here's the thing, right? Yeah, like obviously, some of us have more experience at this game, or just
Yeah,
whatever.
Rage.
Yeah,
Bro,
I know.
My boy
Rage
Rage be
is
streaming
gonna
every
be-
other day.
Rage is
I'm not
be
gonna
tough.
try. I'm not gonna try.
Bro, I've
I'm gonna try.
been playing Apex and Borderlands 3 for like
Trust
forever.
me, I'm not gonna try. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
in the area.
Oh, Rage! I'm running medic. Sorry, guys. Oh,
Oh, no.
Dan's like,
Okay.
alright.
Hold on. Oh, no. Hold on.
This is good though. This feels like fairly equitable teams. Dan's like, I don't know.
What are you trying to say?
Sorry, love. Oh, I got
Oh
heals.
god.
Shit.
Are you done?
There we go. Hey, they're all
I'm just
down.
gonna.
Okay,
Let's
alright,
switch-
let's change
switch-
loadout then.
switch,
Let's put my
executions.
try hard loadout on.
There we go. Yeah, go try.
Oh, should I do this? Oh.
Would he still like launcher probably?
No, I'm not good with the launcher. I don't even have a launcher class.
All done. Let's go.
Someone dropped a bomb back there.
Yeah.
Thanks for the heads up.
Boom!
Go. I like how everyone gets like all.
Spotted. Who that?
I'd
Who
like-
that? Who that?
I'd like a little reminder on my
Who
screen.
that behind that box right there? Who that? Who that? Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Oh wow, really?
Sorry.
I'm out of bullets!
Oh, nice.
Oh, I ran out too. Oh no.
You dare me to cut the stream with you? I
Irvin.
won't. I won't cut it. I have seen people do that.
Oh,
though.
thanks, love.
Wait a minute. What?
Wait up.
Who's this? Let me switch off of this. I was using a revolver. Nah.
Going revolver on.
Oh, who got a bomb here? Oh!
I did. Thanks, Dad.
Set, watch your ass.
Oh, watch out.
Oh jeez.
Oh, Rachel.
Nah, bro. Nah.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I was like, watch
I'm
out.
out of here.
Right in my face. Boom.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, yo.
Got
Hey.
down by crossbow.
Liberals.
You just got two there.
Just say OF cut stream.
Oh my
Alright,
god. Why did you not see that?
Yo, listen. Where am I? Alright, let me.
Uniform down. That's one.
This is great. This is phenomenal gameplay.
I have to wrap this up.
Damn.
All done.
Hey, you guys are only down 2 spawns. You guys are doing fine.
Bro, I have no kills. I don't want to hear that.
You're a support player.
Who's this? Who is that? That's Rage, 100%.
Who's that?
Boy. Imagine.
Wait! Oh my god, dude! Thank you.
T-strats.
I gotcha.
Wait a second. I'll fix you up.
Okay.
I got some heals for you too.
Oh!
Just punch him.
Watch out for the.
There we go. All right.
Cover me. Good to go.
Alright. Ooh. Gimme.
Cover
Make
me.
Who
sure
that?
there's no bombs over here.
Off my ass.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, who's got the military? I just
Just got
noticed.
me.
Is that
Dome
Dan?
Snatcher cometh, bro. We gotta bring him back.
Dome Snatcher, huh?
Alright, cool. What am I doing, bro? Fuck this. A word? Oh! Oh!
Come on, Dome Snatcher.
Almost. Got him! Oh shit!
Nice.
Oh
I
my
don't care.
god.
I don't care. I got that snipe. Let's
You
go.
did, you
Yo,
did.
Good job.
I knew I was like hard scoping with the molly. Like,
The
I
Dome
just wanted you
Snatcher
to
is
go
my
with
favorite class to use. It's so fun.
Oh, I got your rage.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, I should have. Oh man. Oh.
watch out on the right, Rachel.
Spectre incoming.
What the hell? Pick up my ammo. Thank you.
Cover me. I got
Oh
gotcha.
my god, no.
Uh-oh.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, Lev.
Can't keep going like this.
Oh, nobody? Oh.
I thought you were snatching domes.
I was hoping to kill somebody with that. Can I buy more ammo? Fuck.
More like the gnome.
my ass?
The gnome snatcher.
Let me. Hold on, let me. No, that one hit, that was a body shot. I got a little piece.
That'll teach you.
Strats, I need you. I need
Yep,
you, dude.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
Thank you.
It's the anti-crossbow loadout.
It is.
All done. Let's go.
Can't see what Urban or Papa is.
Urban went down to the left. She's probably down low. I'll try to draw someone this way. Nothing. Yep, I saw her down here. Gotcha. Oh, we traded. That's right, it is Spectova. I guess we gotta do some
I had
Spectre,
to wait
right?
for you to get close enough for me to use the Spectre on you.
There we go.
It just flies all over the place.
Oh, you. I'm gonna do it.
I can't afford more bullets.
It's expensive.
No.
It's super expensive, right?
Yeah,
Man.
I got reloads.
Gimme,
They're
gimme,
down
gimme.
there by the river. Irish Soul. I'm telling you.
Oh. Shot.
Oh,
Tourist!
shit.
Down.
Oh, hey, hey. Oh, hey, hey. We're down, partner. Ooh.
Oh, wow!
Oh.
How are you still up?
I don't know, bro.
Catch this bomb.
I'm going for the clips right now. Who's this over here? Who's this over here? Who is this? Who that? Who this? Aw.
Let's see.
Spotted. Spotted.
Someone on the dam with a hit stick. I think that's
Oh
Urban.
no!
Oh, you just ruined my freaking smoke.
Get this. Let me get
Scarlet
one of
Queen
these.
of Factions with the hit stick.
Where are my bullets?
People keep denying my hit stick lately. I don't know how they do it. Just with like revolver or anything. I always thought it was unstoppable, so I
Getting
charge
the
at
stagger.
people with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
We
frustrating.
got some people on the dam. A few. Just a few. Hmm. Oh! Hold on, let me see. Oh, there we go. Let me see if I can.
Who is that way down there?
Tourist!
Oh! We traded headshots.
Try some smoke. Wait a sec, I'll fix you up.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Fucking blind.
Oh, that's a lot of bombs. That's a lot of bombs. Nice, Rachel. Take him out. Well done.
Run out of bullets.
Nani? Oh. Why am I slow hopping? Nani?
Oh, you bugger, you.
Oh, they're bringing it
Who
back.
the hell was that?
Ooh.
Oh no! And
Oh,
One down. Bomb set. Watch your ass.
I moved! Oh, I ran out of sprint!
nice, GG's.
Oh shit, I didn't know there was. Oh my god. You could have said there was someone sneaky on the stairs,
There's a little
guys.
sneak.
Oh
There's a little
my
sneak.
god.
I
I thought it was
forgot
gonna
there's
be
a
the
sprint.
the
Oh, I ran out of
savior.
sprint.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Timely.
Forgot there's a sprint lock in this game. Shit.
They're gonna, okay, they're gonna get radar here in a sec.
Good to go. It's just a handful of them. Let's finish them off.
Good to go.
Oh, a loud armor. Okay.
Oh, it's right on his head. Come on. How's that not hit his head?
They fucking
Careful,
got
he's got a rifle.
boom.
What? What?
Oh. Oh, no.
Oh
There we
shit,
go.
I'm fucking executing instead of reviving. Oh my god, I wish they'd make the buttons more clear. Oh my god, stop shooting me! Oh my god! You got
Alright.
this, love.
3v1.
You know the rules.
Oh, he got him. Nice.
Oh,
Nice
Good job.
trade.
yeah.
GG's.
GG.
That
Well,
went
6
about
revives.
as well as expected.
GG's, guys.
Let's see. Oh,
That was
GG's.
fun. That was fun.
That was fun.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining, Lev. Thanks for jumping in last second. That was great. GG's.
That was good fun.
There will be another one of these tomorrow. It'll be shorter. Tomorrow will just be 9 to 9:45. It'll be a nice, quick, short one on Twitch. So yeah, if you guys want to tune in for that, it'll be great. It'll be similar questions, but probably different answers, because different people. So yeah, thank you guys, and have a good, lovely rest of your day. And thank you all for joining me. All right, have a good one. Cheers, guys.